so happy to have Monte Vista Equestrian Team back in studio this morning because it's just such an incredible thing, A, to have an equestrian team at a high school, and B, to have an equestrian team that has been so incredibly successful. Now, I'm very excited because not only is this team successful, but they're successful on a national level. So you guys are good in California, but you're good nationally. I mean, you're amazing nationally. Monte Vista Equestrian Team placed third in the nation at the IEA, so that's a serious accomplishment right there. We're going to start with Coach Cassie Belmont. Coach, how did you guys get so good?
That's a good question. I think we're really fortunate to have some nice horses at Monte Vista Christian School, and our girls work really hard.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the road to getting to this huge event. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into horsemanship, and of course, all good horseback riders have to have a good coach. So we know that you're doing something right. Talk about the road to getting to the IEA and kind of how you prepared your girls.
Well, our show team riders ride almost every day, and I think that's an advantage over lots of stables where kids maybe take 3 or 2 lessons a week. So having them out there 5 days a week really helps with their fitness and their focus. They're involved with caring for the horses, and the lessons can be pretty intense, especially with the horse shows coming up. We take our horses to lots of local horse shows all around the state of California, and then we participate in the IEA events from Southern California up to Stanford. There were a couple in the East Bay this year, and our team was very successful.
Okay, talk about all of the background things that people do not know about horse shows. You know, it's not exactly the easiest thing to trailer animals all over the place and to you know, to do all of the work that goes into moving them around. And of course, you know, there's something to be said about having a van full of athletes, you know, going from A to B. Horses kind of add a whole new element to that equation. So how do you cope with that extra workload?
Well, that's a good question. When we travel to shows in Sacramento, loading the horse trailer with all the animals and the equipment and the feed that they need, saddles, bridles, helmets, all of that, it's quite a chore. And the difference in the IEA shows is that when we get to these events, we ride the horses that are provided by the host school or team. And so the girls show up with their riding attire, their helmets, their boots, hunt coat, and then they draw the name of a horse out of a hat and get on that horse. So it's a lot less labor intensive, but it's also more challenging probably because the girls are riding horses that they aren't familiar with.
Okay, now Ella, I'm going to bring you into this conversation. As a rider, you're expected to get on a horse that you have not ridden before, develop a relationship with that horse, and do well. I mean, we're talking third in the nation well. Talk about that.
So going to IEA is really a different experience than just riding at home and being on the horses that you know, because these horses could be anything and you don't really have time to get to know them. So you kind of just have to do what you know and go with that horse, and whatever they need to do to accommodate what they need, you kind of just have to fit what their needs are into what's happening in the arena.
And is it intimidating to get on an animal that is that large that you have not ridden before?
Absolutely, but I think that Cassie's really trained us to be ready for anything that could happen, and has trained us to be ready to make it look good while whatever's happening is going on, and so it's become less scary.
And Ella has been riding for a long time. Talk about how you got into horseback riding, and I know there's a little family relation there.
So I've grown up on a ranch, and we got our first horse when I was 3, and so I've grown up around horses, and I know horses, and I know really well how to take care of horses, and I think that actually really helped me with IEA and being able to ride different horses because I have a lot of experience in different fields.
Now talk about what it is like to take care of horses, because you know people get a cat or they get a puppy and it's not too hard, but with the horse there's a space requirement, but there's also the shoeing, and then there's all of the expensive saddle action, and there's all of the food and everything else that goes along with it. So what is a typical day like when you're taking care of an animal like that?
Horses they take a lot of work. I fortunately have a lot of help from my parents at home. At our school, daily we have to pick their hooves, clean our tack, clean our horses, and it's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. And IEA is really special because you don't actually have to own a horse and take care of it with all of the expenses, which are a lot, because we get to go and ride horses that we don't know.
That is awesome. Now, Coach, talk a little bit about what it is like to run one of these programs. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and this is not a school that just basically requires people to bring their own horses, with them every day. You have animals for students to ride that maybe can't afford horses.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It's a big investment of time, etc. My husband and I have been training horses and managing stables for over 20 years together. And the partnership with Monte Vista Christian School is very unique, and I'm blessed and fortunate to be there. Over the last 5 years we've been there collecting horses, really out looking around, trying to find ones that are going to help facilitate educating the riders. We do have summer camps where kids come who've never been on a horse, so we have the older kind babysitter types, and now as the girls are getting so good and jumping bigger jumps and going to bigger horse shows, it's more exciting. We get the really athletic, larger horses that are going to be successful at that venue, that kind of competition.
So you've got some warm bloods coming in, stuff
quite a
like
few.
that.
And I think about 12, maybe 15 of our riders own their own horses now. So students that come to school, a lot of them come thinking PE horsemanship would be fun, and then we do have students who are coming to join our equestrian program and keep horses there.
Excellent. Well, that is just so exciting because it's such a special treat to be able to ride horses, and we have another athlete coming into this studio. This is Michaela. Michaela, talk a little bit about what it's like to be able to ride horses for PE.
It's wonderful.
We're going to try that again. Michaela, sorry, go ahead.
I never really liked PE, normal PE, but in like 6th grade I started riding horses, and then coming to Monte Vista, it was just awesome that we could ride horses for PE.
And you guys placed 3rd in the nation at IEA, so obviously there's a huge element of success in this program. Talk about what factors contribute to the success of this horseback riding program at Monte Vista.
I think a big part of it is the fact that we all are a team and we all look out for each other and we all have each other's backs all the time, no matter what, not just in the ring, but everywhere.
Excellent. Now, Cassie, talk a little bit about the history of this program because it's actually very, very interesting.
Well, Monte Vista, I think, is 85 years old, the school, and we're in a farming community. We're surrounded by apple orchards and berry fields, raspberries. And the school started as a boarding school, kind of a small missionary group of folks with their kids, and they used horses for farming. And there was a grade A dairy, I believe, and the room where they milked cows is our office/classroom. Now I have photos of cows in there where the kids hang out. And as the school has evolved, I guess, over the last 80 years, we're a very high-tech environment now, iPads, Wi-Fi, everything. The kids are brilliant with their internet skills. The equestrian program has evolved as well, and now we're very competitive and successful, I would say. The girls and we've had a really good year. So.
I'd say very successful. Absolutely phenomenal equestrian program at Monte Vista. This team placed 3rd in the nation at IEA, so moms and dads, if you're out there, this is a good school to send the kids to. Thank you guys so much for your time today, and I just got a very exciting Monte Vista equestrian jacket that I'm going to be rocking around town, so thank you for that as well. Coming up next, Sharks hockey, NBA playoffs, Bay Area baseball, and more on KO. You are listening to AM 1080 KSCO. You guys were so good! You were so good!
Hey!
Nice to meet you.
Oh no! Yeah. Just where are we going?
I'm glad you made it. Yeah, you got a little bit in there.
Oh no, she just got her license.